Hello, everybody. Gregg Peterson alongside Steve Sipple, and Nebraska Fall Camp number 7 in the books now, Steve. And very interesting day today. We heard from Bill Busch, and for those that aren't real familiar with Coach Busch, he's one of the most fiery guys that you'll ever meet, and he brings that to his press conferences just like he does with his team.
Yeah, he's very enthusiastic about special teams, and yeah, they're through 7 practices now, and things are kind of starting to crystallize. Not everything. I mean, it's still pretty early. We're 7 practices in, 25 is the total, so we'll see where it goes. But we do have a pretty good idea right now about who will be the return men.
Yeah, we learned a lot about that today.
Yeah, Bill Busch said on punt returns that right now Trey Palmer would probably be the lead dog. Yeah. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda is in that conversation, as is Tommy Hill. Note that those are 3 newcomers.
Yeah.
Those are all transfers.
All guys that have been successful at a high level in the return game in the past.
Right. Then on that's punt returns. Kickoff returns, Anthony Grant. In fact, Bill Busch said if the season were to start today, it would be Anthony Grant going out there number 1 as the kickoff returner, with Winemaster as the up back. He called him the off returner, the guy back here just ahead of him, blocker. Okay, so Anthony Grant would be number 1 as a kickoff returner. Trey Palmer's in that conversation. Tommy Hill again. Cooper Jewett. Those are the principles right now.
Yeah, a lot of praise with Cooper Jewett.
Yeah, Cooper Jewett is fast. I mean, we've seen enough of Cooper Jewett to know that his speed makes him a factor.
Absolutely. And then, we also had a chance to talk with Coach Applewhite and learned a little bit about the running back situation right now. And, he's got a loaded room. He really does.
Yeah, he said, Greg, that the competition in his room, and we're talking 6, 7 guys, he characterized it as being unbelievable competition. He does want a running back 1, an RB1, a clear-cut guy, but it sounded to me like he's a ways away from being able to discern who that is.
Yeah.
Now, Anthony Grant told me on Wednesday, I had an interview with Anthony on Wednesday, and he said the previous 2 practices he was the number 1 guy.
Wow.
But Anthony also said we'll see how it plays out, that can change, and that Applewhite, mixes and matches guys. So we'll see where that goes. I will say this, another thing about today, while we're talking about running backs, Ramir Johnson drew heavy praise from both Applewhite and Busch. Ramir is heavily involved in special teams, not as a return man. He's a blocker. I mean, he's a blocker on kickoff return. They put their dudes out there.
Yeah.
Their toughest,
best
football players. And Ramir, for instance, that's one of his roles. He's a gunner. It was Applewhite who said, actually, if you had 120 guys like Ramir Johnson, you wouldn't worry about anything. Ramir is a very, very much a critical part of this football team.
Yeah, and I'll throw out there, too, I had a chance to talk with Gabe Urban a little bit, too, today after practice. And he also had high praise for Ramir. And Gabe is also, he's coming into camp here with a lot of confidence. He's fully healthy now, and he's not backing down at all.
No, Gabe Irvin, if you talk to him at all one-on-one, what you realize is he's kicking the stall. He's like a horse kicking the stall. He didn't practice in the spring, but Brian Applewhite said you can't tell he didn't practice in the spring.
Right.
This is a hungry running back in a hungry running back room. Those guys are all kicking at the stall.
Absolutely. And then moving over to the other side, inside linebacker Barrett Ruud was out and chatted about his guys a little bit, and he's got kind of a similar thing going on that Coach Applewhite does with his group there.
Yeah, I mean the top 2 are pretty clear. Obviously, Nick Henrich and Luke Reimer. Now, after that, it's a battle. Tiva Maga-Clemens is in there. Ernest Hausman, the true freshman's in there. The kid from York, Garrett Snodgrass, is right in that. It's more of a competition behind the top 2.
Right.
Reimer and Henrich are the dudes. Reimer had 108 tackles last year. Henrich had 99. Reimer had 108 tackles while playing the entire season with a groin injury. He injured the groin before the season, played the Illinois game, kept rolling, and had 108 tackles. That kid, and he never complains.
No. And then I think, just to finish things off here, there was a lot of praise with freshman Ernest Hausman. I think, he definitely looks the part. Coach Rude had actually had used a term like a shiny car or something like that. He looks like the part, and he's really putting in a really good camp.
Well, he not only looks the part. What Barrett said is he's mature. He doesn't have ups and downs like a lot of freshmen, like a lot of people. He's very even, knows what he wants out of his day. Don't be surprised if Ernest Hausman plays significant minutes this year.
Absolutely. Well, that'll wrap it up here. We'll be right back out here tomorrow, practice number 8, and we'll hear from the man himself, Scott Frost, after practice. So stay tuned in to On3 Nebraska.